Hello and welcome to the Tiny Brains podcast. I'm Kevin Joyce, CEO at Tiny Brains, and with me as always is Peter Graham, the Brigadier of Brains. Say hello, Peter.
Good afternoon, all.
So what we do on this podcast is we take a look at the biggest stories in XR from the previous week, and most of this year we've been talking about AR and smart glasses. This week we've got a ton of brand new VR news, which is nice.
Yeah, no smart glasses or AI or anything like that today. Well, mostly not. We are talking about VR headsets, and in particular, a rather tiny one called Bigscreen Beyond 2. This was announced earlier this year, and it has started now being shipped to users. The big news is that Big Screen Beyond 2E, the eye tracking edition, has now had a partnership with VRChat. And what does that mean? Purple. So essentially, it's a purple headset. If if you ordered any of the, or if you've seen any of the Big Screen Beyond 2 news, you've noticed that a couple of the headsets, well, there's one with a black sort of black fascia, there's one with a clear transparent one, and one with a rather vivid sort of neon orange one. Well, the VR chat collaboration is a nice neon sort of purplish. It's called Atomic Purple, and yeah, but it only comes with the 2E, which is the more advanced, like I say, eye tracking version, not the two, which is Sans eye tracking. Have you seen it yet, Kev?
I have not. No, I have not seen the Atomic Purple.
Oh,
However, showing my age a little bit here, I do like a bit of purple with the classic GameCube look. And yeah, purple's all
well,
right.
funnily enough, in the actual press release t talking about this, the big screen actually said it's inspired by the nostalgia of iconic products from the 90s and 2000s, our
There
era.
you go. There you go.
So,
So yeah, GameCube VR headset.
essentially GameCube VR and the anything related to the GameCube would be brilliant. The color does supposedly shift as well in the right lighting,
Okay.
and if you order one of these, you'll get exclusive in-game sort of in VR chat items, stickers, and other digital items. They haven't said what they're actually going to give you, but you're going to get some exclusive items, and more items will be released later in the year as well. Um, See, with it being the 2E edition, it is more expensive. It is $1,269 rather than the normal 2E, which is about just over $1,200. And if you want one, they'll start shipping in September time. Or if you have ordered a 2E and want the purple version, you can swap. You just need to contact Big Screen and they'll swap it for you.
Well, that all sounds lovely. VRChat users, obviously, we all know that VRChat has a huge audience, both in VR and non-VR. And for people who want to get the most out of their VRChat experience, this is a pretty good headset.
Yeah, yeah. It's had good reviews so far. Yeah, it looks like.
So moving on from a lightweight VR PC VR headset to
Another lightweight VR headset. This one is from Pico, or this one's more of a rumor, whereas the big screen has we've seen it and know what it looks like. The Pico headset is now rumored, or this rumor has appeared. ByteDance have not confirmed it; they've not made any official announcement about this, but supposedly this is going to be in a similar sort of size and form factor to big screen, in funnily enough, but it's going to have an external compute puck. The rumor suggests kind of like the Meta lightweight headset that we've talked about before. Again, there's no specifications or detailed, images of this just yet, but it's essentially Pico moving away from their pre-planned ideas or their headset ideas because they did have initially the Pico 5 planned, cancelled that. Rumors last year were that they were going to do an Apple Vision Pro competitor. They seemingly have shelved that as well, and are now going down the lightweight route. Similar to, again, Meta. They do like to copy Meta, or they do like to follow them, don't they?
yeah, which I've often found odd because Pico's hardware, especially from the Neo 3, was it? Has always been pretty good.
Hmm.
It's comparable to Meta's offerings. But significantly more expensive because they obviously are not funding the creation of the VR market in the same way that Meta are. So I've often found it strange that Pico chase Meta so much.
Yeah.
Um, but I don't run a multi-billion-dollar business, so
What do you know? What do you know,
what do
Tom?
I know? Yeah.
Exactly.
Moving on from new stuff to old stuff.
Yes, Varjo, the enterprise headsets manufacturer from is it? Are they Finnish? I believe, wherever they're from. They have announced they're ending support for their third generation headsets. These are the XR3, the VR3, and the Varo Aero, which was their first and only consumer product. I say consumer product. The Varo Aero released in 2021, and it was $2,000. So, you know, it was quite an expensive headset. Uh,
High-end consumer there.
exactly. So essentially, they're not bricking it. They're not doing what Microsoft did with Windows Mixed Reality and completely brick the headsets. What they are doing is just ending support for the main companion software, which is called Varo Base. So that support ends on the 1st of January next year. And after that, basically, if you own one of those headsets, you can use the old software and you can still use it. You just won't get all the customer support and any additional bug fixes or whatever else that comes out after that. Naturally, all these headsets are generally aren't owned by many people anyway, because the XR3, for example, was like 5 grand. The VR3 was about $3,000, and like I say, the Aero was 2,000. So it's only going to affect a small contingent of people. I did actually demo and use the Aero before, and it was a cracking headset, very good clarity. But they're going to be few and far between.
Yes, I mean, we all know that VR for consumers is a niche market of a niche market. So I can't imagine there are, more than a few thousand of these headsets around. It's sad for those people that have them, but also if you've got 2 grand to blow on a headset like that, you're probably ready to upgrade by now anyway.
Oh, yeah, I would have thought so. You probably already own a Bigscreen Beyond.
Maybe, yeah. So moving on now, we got the Freeaim. Yeah, this
Do
is
you remember this? Do you?
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a UK. This is homegrown. This is a UK-based startup that are making motorized VR shoes, and they're doing very well on Kickstarter. They were looking to raise 150 grand, and they've not only succeeded that, they've gone past it. They're up to about 108, just under 180 grand. They've managed to raise, which means they're you know their Kickstarter success as far as anyone else is concerned. If you've not heard of these VR shoes yet, Freeaim essentially, as we say, they're dispensing with the larger, bulkier, omnidirectional treadmills that sort of did come in very very expensive. And essentially, there are the two motorized shoes, and they're doing two versions. They're doing like a basic version, which are motorized shoes, but you do need like a metal frame around you to keep you in place and to keep you steady. Whereas the more advanced versions, the more expensive versions, actually have motorized like rotating wheel modules that will keep you within a 1.5 meter by 1.5 meter area. So you don't actually need the sort of old person like frame around you. You can just use the shoes. Um, when we'll see these come to market, or let's wait and see, because the Kickstarter does say it's supposed to be next year, like early next year. But as we know with Kickstarters, especially hardware Kickstarters, these things can get delayed and be pushed back a little bit.
Well, we're certainly keen to see this come to fruition. Freeaim guys, UK based, give us a call. We'll come and give it a try. Congratulations for your funding, and yeah, hope to see this one moving forward.
Oh dear, oh dear. You had that geared up. While I was making all that explanation, you were like, right, I've got something.
This totally was like no, it wasn't. It literally wasn't. I should have done. I should have thought of something better. Um,
Then you
but
just
something that's not moving forward so rapidly. See,
okay. Jesus, we're going down this route. Yes. There was a few game announcements last week, and one of the big ones was Memoriam, which is kind of like a Dead Space style shooter that was initially earmarked for September, has been pushed back to October. So it's not much of a delay, but it's obviously caught a lot of people's interest, mainly because it kind of has those Dead Space vibes, and I'm a huge Dead Space fan, so I'm looking forward to it. But also because of the team behind it. The team behind it are a group called Patient 8, and they actually created one of the most popular Half-Life Alyx mods called Return to Rapture, which was based on BioShock. And if you've ever played Half-Life Alyx, it's always recommended that you try some of these mods. And Return to Rapture was rather good, especially if you're a BioShock fan.
Of which I am. More so than
Which
Dead Space. I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
like
I'm
Dead
a
Space,
fan
but
of both.
Bioshock
Yeah, so
is my
exactly.
style.
This is why Memoreum is, we've got high hopes for this game. It's coming to MetaQuest now on the 9th of October.
As a horror themed game, it's still in that window, so good luck for that launch. Yeah, I'm interested to check that one out in a couple of months.
There we go. And that's all the VR news that we have this week.
Well, that was far more than we normally get on this podcast or have been getting on this podcast this year. But thank you all for watching, everyone that's here. If you have anything you would like to be discussed on this podcast, or Freeaim guys, if you want us to come in and try your shoes, feel free to drop us a line, and we'll see you all again next week.